The College Basketball Experience Summer Coaches Tour edition for the Towson Tigers head coach, Pat Skerry edition of the College Basketball Experience is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today using that promo code TCESGPN and claim your special time deposit offer up to $250 bonus in cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to that sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. And welcome everybody into the College Basketball Experience Summer Coaches Tour edition. And we're heading over there to one of my favorite leagues, the CAA. Coach Pat Skerry will be joining us here shortly to talk Towson men's basketball, talk about the journey over the last 13 years at Towson, being able to build that program from the absolute bottom rebuild job up to what's been consistently a top four, especially over the last couple of years in the CAA program there. So done an unbelievable job there. We talked about his journey to being a head coach at different stops, including with Jamie Dixon at Pitt and Northeastern, William & Mary. And we talked about all his stops and how he got into the coaching industry and why he likes his team coming back. But first, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. Also known as Mac Tonight over here at the College Basketball Experience. The tour goes on. The show goes on. Go check out all our other episodes. We had Coach Bowles on Monday. We've had Coach Mincy on from the A-Sun as well. We got plenty coming up as well. Yesterday as well, we got Coach Kaufman coming on. Tomorrow, we got Coach Travis Steele as well. So make sure you check out each and every one of those episodes. Coach Sargent from Wright State as well was on this week. So got a little bit of everything. A-Sun to the Big South to the CAA now. We got you covered. Let's pay the bills before we let Coach Skerry on here to talk Towson Tigers because Underdog Fantasy is sponsoring the College Basketball Experience, and you're going to want to sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit. Offer up to $250 bonus in cash. Underdog Fantasy promo code TCESGPN. Back over here at the College Basketball Experience. Tease it out enough. Let's be joined by the head coach of the Towson Tigers, Coach Pat Skerry. And we continue our summer coaches tour on the College Basketball Experience with the head coach of the Towson Tigers, Coach Pat Skerry. Coach, how are you doing?
I'm great, man. I love the energy. I appreciate you having me on.
I appreciate you taking the time. So, Coach, mid-August, season ended in March, and we're less than 90 days, hard to believe, from tipping the ball off again. Just fill everybody in what your guys' summer is so far.
Yeah, I mean, like most places, right? We had our 8 weeks of guys here for lifts and on court, instruction, and I give us about a B. I thought it was good. Always could be a little better. And now the guys get a kind of a needed break for 2-3 weeks before we come back. But it's these guys, it's a full-time job, right? They're pretty much here year round when a lot of their peers are doing some other things in the summer. But we know it's needed in order to reach our goals individually and collectively.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the summers are so much different compared to what they were 10, 20 years ago. I want to rewind, and we'll talk about your current team here in a little bit. I want to talk about your playing career. From 88 to 92, you played at Tufts College you're a New England guy. Just talk about your early playing career and when you knew you wanted to get into the coaching industry.
Well, the good thing, we talk about my playing career. That shouldn't take more than 7-8 seconds. No, I actually played hockey growing up until like 7th grade, and then 6th, 7th grade, I kind of fell in love with basketball. I tell people all the time I played hockey with the Sacco brothers and some of the Bates brothers who all NHL players back in Medford, and I finally figured out that I wasn't as good as hockey as I thought. I was just playing with really good players, so I kind of fell in love with basketball, and I was fortunate to I worked camps in high, when I was in went to camps a lot, and in college I was fortunate enough to go to Tufts University, and I used to work camps in the summertime. A lot of my classmates are doing internships on financial industries and some of that stuff. I used to work camps, and I loved basketball. I got a real job. This is a true story for international educational firm, EF in Cambridge, Mass. Ryan, I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I was on my way in Friday. I said, I can't do this. It's not for me. and I played a lottery ticket. I won $470. And I drove up to New Hampshire. My parents are divorced. My dad had my younger brothers away. And I thought I was going to retire. I realized that didn't last me very long. And then I jumped into coaching. Bob Sheldon, the great coach at Tufts University, he gave me my first job, who I played for, and he gave me $300 for the year. That was the recruiting budget back in 1993. And I was a substitute teacher. I worked in the equipment room in the fitness center at Tufts. I got my refereeing license for high school soccer and basketball. And I got my bartending license. I did some bartending. So I tried to do everything. And then I was fortunate enough to get into grad school there and get my master's. So that's those are some of my fondest memories when I was able to get into the business.
I always love asking that question, just hearing the different paths of the guys that paid their dues early and how they got to where they're at. But Coach, from there, you went to Stonehill for a year, and then you landed your first head coaching job at Curry College. What was it like being a head coach in your 20s? I mean, that's early time to be a head coach, and you're learning on the job.
Yeah, I was fortunate. I went to Stonehill for a year, right? I actually tried to sell real estate. I wasn't very good at it. And I tell you, the assistants back at Stonehill were me and Eddie Cooley, who was a great player there. We were both part-time assistants. And I'm 26 years old, and I was the youngest head coach in the country at Curry. I'll be forever grateful for my athletic director, Pam Samuelson, who took a chance on me. And I loved it. I was there for 2 years. Great assistant coach, Adam Nelson, who runs Hoop Dirt. He was my assistant coach, really smart guy. And we had a goal. We didn't make the goal. Our goal was at the first year to have 100 kids visit campus. We got to like 92 or 93. We didn't quite make 100. We just tried to get the thing going. I was fortunate. I met my wife at Curry. She worked in admissions. My wife, Kristen. So I really enjoyed Curry. I appreciate them taking a chance on me. It was like a lab where I made a lot of mistakes and think learned a lot from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially getting a chance to run your own program that early in your career. From there, Coach, you make a bunch of different stops: Northeastern, William and Mary, College of Charleston, Rhode Island, Providence, and then Pittsburgh with Jamie Dixon. What were some of the things you took from every one of those bosses that helped you prepare for the Towson job in 2011?
Yeah, first of all, I worked for really good head coaches, Rudy Kaling and Ricky Boyages and Tommy Herrion, and then Jim Barron, Keno Davis, and then Coach Dixon. And I worked with some awesome assistant coaches over the years, like some really good coaches that have been head coaches and taught me a lot. So I try to steal a little bit from everyone, really. I think the big breaks for me were, one, getting when Coach Herrion hired me at College of Charleston. They were an established program, obviously. they still are. That was really going down the deep south and expanding recruiting base, and then getting the break to come back to New England with Coach Barron. We got it going at Rhode Island, and then the monumental break was getting hired by Coach Dixon at Pittsburgh. With actually Coach Herrion helped kind of. He was the assistant that left, and Pitt was a machine back then. Obviously, you're a West Virginia guy. That's a big rivalry. But I say all the time, if I didn't get the opportunity to work for Coach Dixon back in the old Big East, I'd probably be selling encyclopedias unsuccessfully up in Boston. So I'll be forever grateful for Coach for hiring me. And not only that, I was only there for a year, and then this opportunity presented itself. And the fact that he didn't stand in the way says a lot about the type of guy that he is.
Yeah, I love Coach Dixon and what he's been able to do at TCU and turn that program around and be in the tournament basically every year now. Just shows that what a good coach he is. Coach, you take over in 2011. And I don't think people realize back then what Towson was compared to what it is now. I mean, now we basically are used to seeing you guys win 20+. You're in the top 4 in the CAA year in and year out. But it was a total rebuild job when you took it. 1-31 your first year. Then you flip it, 17 wins better your second year. Just talk about the early days of trying to get this program back on track.
Well, what sports is humbling, right? I'm on a staff at Pitt that wins 30 games. Then we lose 30 games and we win 18. And honestly, what we've always tried to do, Ryan, was build habits. There's not a lot of difference in the practices from any of those three teams. Just a lot of it's talent level, right? Your talent's a baseline in anything we do. Mike Waddell was the athletic director that took a chance on me. And really, I tell people that really, the three things that helped get this thing going. One, Mike Waddell really invested in basketball, more so than we had in the past here at Towson. Two, I really hired a great staff when I got here. I mean, my first staff, my first couple of years, the guys that I had on staff, Kevin Clark was with me for a long time, and we were together at Rhode Island. Luke Murray, two-time national champ at UConn. Kenny Johnson, now at Georgetown, who was a successful coach at Louisville. Dwayne Simpkins, who is the head coach at American. Mike Sweats, who is the assistant AD and head of operations at Southern SMU, and Andy Enfield at USC, and Pat O'Connell, who's now my associate head coach. So, I mean, we just had – and Adam Fletcher was our strength coach, who's at Illinois. So, I mean, I had unbelievable staff. And then we found a guy, credit to Luke Murray for finding. We found a guy by the name of Jarrell Bennerman, who sits out. We're 1-31. And this is back when guys had to sit out, and we're working this guy out, Bennerman, who averaged less than 2 points a game at Georgetown. And we're like, God, he looks pretty good, and the lights go on, and he's back-to-back player of the year in our league. And there's been no more impactful player, I don't think, anywhere for a program than what Jarrell Bennerman did for Towson basketball. And since then, we've been fortunate. That gave us a little bit of a head start. We've had really good staff, and we've had good players. And, I'm really excited now. We're coming off our best 3-year stretch in school history, and have really high expectations for this season.
And let me follow up on that. You're headed into year number 14. Talk about how you've changed as a coach from the beginning. I mean, you've had your most success in probably the most chaotic era in college basketball with the NIL and portal, being able to adapt. You mentioned it, 25 wins, 21-20, 3 straight 20-win seasons. Talk about you and your staff, how you guys have been able to adapt over the last 4 or 5 years.
Well, I appreciate you asking that. One, we've made we had such a tough year during COVID when we could have been really good. We tried to make a little bit of a philosophical shift in recruiting. We've got higher level of, I think, character, academics than we've ever had across the board, from unbelievable parents and families that have, I think, shared values. And that's a credit to my staff. I mean, the staff I've had the last couple of years, these guys all deserve cracks at the next level and more money based on the job they've done. Every last one of them. So those two things have really helped us. And then we've made some X and O changes on offense that I think have helped us. So we've been lucky to retain a lot of guys. I've got a really, really sharp, motivated athletic director right now, Steve Eigenbrot, and we have a new president, Mark Ginsberg, who I really feel like they're going to support me and our program and our goals. And, they understand, right? And not to use a cliche, but at this point moving forward, we've been able to be right at the top of our league. And 2 years ago, won our first regular season title. And we did that without spending a cent on name, image, and likeness. Now they know moving forward, this is what we gotta do. So I'm thankful that we've got people that want to get behind this and help. Also, where I sit, it's a good position because we were able to do it without it. But now we know this is where we're at in order to really stay there and take it even further. It's not just going to be the X's and O's. It is the Johnny and the Joes, but it's a little different now.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the Johnny and the Joes, evaluate them, develop them, and then we've got to collectively commit to retaining them. And that's what we've been able to do, and that's what we want to keep doing.
Yeah, it's such a interesting balance and new dynamic in college basketball where if you're too good, you basically go to the next level in a way. But if you're able to keep that roster intact, you see the best teams that can keep their players intact, make the best runs the next year. Let me talk about or ask you the CAA. It's one of my favorite leagues. I grew up in the Virginia state of Virginia, DMV. So I have always followed the CAA. I remember when Mason and VCU were in it, but now it's such a underrated league still with Charleston, Wilmington, Hofstra, Drexel's good every year. Just talk about the different coaches, styles you guys play night in and night out.
Yeah, it is, right? It's the top of the league has been really good. I think you have to obviously include Northeastern in there. Billy Cohn is the all-time winningest coach in CAA history. And I think there's been some good hires at A&T and Hampton and William and Mary that you're going to see those programs quickly ascend. And, that makes it really challenging. Monmouth and Stony Brook are really good additions, though they've had success immediately. So, we're trying to hopefully maintain. We've had a good run 9 of the last 11 years. We've been over, 18 wins and usually in the top 3 of the league. We're hoping we keep that going. But it's also gotten hard, Ryan. And the league has a lot of interesting decisions at times, like, how do you match up scheduling and unbalanced scheduling and a lot of that stuff is certainly a challenge. These leagues keep getting bigger and bigger. I don't think it's good, but I think that's where it's headed, or it's already went.
Absolutely. And let me ask you about your guys' schedule and how you guys strategize the non-con with the micro, macro. You want to win the bye games, and you got to get a couple games to pay as well. But you're also with the mind of you got to be sharp in March for that CAA tournament. That's always an entertaining tournament. Those games come down to the wire every single year in that tournament. So how do you approach your non-con schedule?
Yeah, so look, here's the deal. We've never bought a game. So we're going to continue to schedule aggressively. Our schedule's about to come out, and it'll be as challenging as we've ever had. I'll be very, very honest with you. The last 3 years, we can't get anyone locally to play us. So we've got the best winning. We've got the best winning percentage in the DMV over the last 3 years. That's we would welcome to play any of these local A10s or Big Ten or ACC or Big East schools up and down this corridor. And there's certainly really good programs that are well coached, but we haven't been afforded the opportunity to play a lot of those schools, but we would, American schools. I mean, there's a lot of schools in this neck of the woods that we would love to do, play them on a neutral court or home and home, or if they want to buy us, we'll play anybody anywhere. I think we need to get us ready for the rigors of the CAA. And you mentioned, especially if you have to go to, the environments at Wilmington and Charleston are as good as anywhere in the country. And we've had pretty good success. We've been able to win at Charleston 2 of the last 3 years, and same at Wilmington. And I want to play games early that hopefully get us ready for those type of environments.
Yeah, and one thing you can always count on with your teams, watching them over the years, you guys are going to compete, rebound, and defend. Coach, let me ask you this. You've taken a bunch of your time. I want to leave you with one last question for the Towson Tigers fans. Headed into year 14, I know it's probably hard to believe, year 14 of your era there at Towson. What's your message to fans as you try and get to that big dance come March?
Yeah, I mean, I think keep supporting us, and then really we need you to invest in the retention of the student athletes we have here at Towson, because not only are they good players, but they are very good students, and they're outstanding citizens, and they're what you want representing the university. So I'm hoping people can, get behind those student athletes, because they really deserve it, and they want to try to get us to a place we haven't been and further.
Can't wait. Can't wait for the CAA. Can't wait for Towson Tigers hoops this year. Coach Skerry, I appreciate you stopping by the College Basketball Experience. Best of luck this season, and definitely look forward to having you on again.
Anytime. Keep up the great work. Go Mountaineers.
Yeah, go Mountaineers, go Tigers. Coach Skerry, great guy. A lot of energy. Done an unbelievable job there. We talked about how he's been able to rebuild that program. Not easy going 1-31 your first year, rebuilding it into a top 4 program in the CAA year in and year out. Over 200 wins as a head coach there, 121 and 105. They actually started. They were in the CAA the entire time, but he started at Curry as a head coach in the Commonwealth Coast Conference. So he's used to being in the Commonwealth or in the Colonial. So real quick, let's pay the bills and we will get out of here because football season is here. So make sure you download Rhythm. NFL models and college football models are over there. Get over there with the data scientists. Rhythm has you covered NFL Week 1, college football Week 0. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That is the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM today. And we're also brought to you by Circa, Survivor and Circa Millions. Circa's back, bigger, better than ever. Don't have your trip booked to Vegas? Well, still time, August 22nd through the 24th for the big sign-up weekend. Use our promo code SGP15 to save 15% off your hotel room for the sign-up weekend. You have now between today and September 7th. So if you can't get there in person, use our proxy, because we have a deal with the proxy, proxy.footballcontest.com to save you $50 off with the promo code SGP. Back on the college basketball experience, want to thank Coach Skerry. Thank Towson Tigers men's basketball. We love the CAA over here at the college basketball experience. Can't wait. They've been knocking on the door to get to that big dance. Could 24-25 be the year? We'll be there every step of the way covering them. They play a challenging schedule. They're gonna test themselves in the non-con, and he mentioned it. They have the best record in the DMV over the last 3 years. 25 wins 3 years ago, 21, then 20. So a consistent winner there at Towson, and only getting better in the NIL and transfer portal era. To Towson fans, go check out the FCS experience. We have the college football breakdowns over there. Football season's right around the corner for Towson football. The main college football experience, I'm on that tonight as well. All 134 team previews. Go check them all out. Go check out the Big 12 experience with me, Rush, and Troy. We all come together as one on YouTube.com/the college experience. We continue the summer coaches tour tomorrow with the head coach of the Fort Wayne Mastodons, Coach John Kaufman. Make sure you're subscribed. Can't wait. Mac tonight signing off over here at the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours, and we are out of here.